Hello, hello. Welcome to the Art of Public Speaking 2023 release, Vocabulary Readings, Chapter 10, Beginning and Ending the Speech. Rhetorical question. A question that the audience answers mentally rather than aloud. Credibility. The audience's perception of whether a speaker is qualified to speak on a given topic. Goodwill. The audience's perception of whether the speaker has the best interests of the audience in mind. Preview statement. A statement in the introduction of a speech that identifies the main points to be discussed in the body. Crescendo ending. A conclusion in which the speech builds to a zenith of power and intensity. Dissolve ending. A conclusion that generates emotional appeal by fading step by step to a dramatic final statement. Chapter 11. Outlining the speech. Preparation outline. A detailed outline developed during the process of speech preparation that includes the title, specific purpose, central idea, introduction, main points, subpoints, connectives, conclusion, and bibliography of the speech. Visual framework. The pattern of symbolization and indentation in a speech outline that shows the relationships among the speaker's ideas. Bibliography. A list of all of the sources used in preparing a speech. Speaking outline. A brief outline used to jog a speaker's memory during the presentation of a speech. Delivery cues. Directions in a speaking outline to help a speaker remember how she or he wants to deliver key parts of the speech. That is the conclusion of Chapter 11. Moving forward, we are now to Chapter 12, Using Language. Denotative meaning. The literal or dictionary meaning of a word or phrase. Connotative meaning. The meaning suggested by the associations or motions triggered by a word or phrase. Thesaurus, a book of synonyms. Concrete words, words that refer to tangible objects. Abstract words, words that refer to ideas or concepts. Clutter, discourse that takes many more words than are necessary to express an idea. Imagery, the use of vivid language to create mental images or of objects, actions, or ideas. Simile, an explicit comparison introduced with the word like or as between things that are essentially different yet have something in common. Cliché, a trite or overused expression. Metaphor, an implicit comparison not introduced with the word like or as between two things that are essentially different yet have something in common. Rhythm, the pattern of sound in a speech created by the choice and arrangement of words. Parallelism, the similar arrangement of a pair or series of related words, phrases, or sentences. Repetition, reiteration of the same word or set of words at the beginning or end of successive clauses or sentences. Alliteration, repetition of the initial consonant sound or of close or adjoining words. Antithesis, the juxtaposition of contrasting ideas, usually in parallel structure. That is the end of Chapter 12. Moving forward onto Chapter 13, Delivery. Nonverbal communication. Communication based on a person's use of voice and body rather than on the use of words. Manuscript speech. A speech that is written out word for word and read to the audience. Impromptu speech. A speech delivered with little or no immediate preparation. Extemporaneous speech. A carefully prepared and rehearsed speech that is presented from a brief set of notes. Conversational quality. Presenting a speech so it sounds spontaneous no matter how many times it has been rehearsed. Volume. The loudness or softness of the speaker's voice. Pitch. The highness or lowness of the speaker's voice. Inflections. Changes in the pitch or tone of a speaker's voice. Monotone. A consistent pitch or tone of voice. Rate. The speed at which a person speaks. Pause. A momentary break in the vocal delivery of a speech. Vocalized pause. A pause that occurs when the speaker fills the sentence between words with vocalizations, such as and. Vocal variety. Changes in a speaker's rate, pitch, and volume that give the voice variety and expressiveness. Pronunciation. The accepted standard of sound and rhythm for words in a given language. Articulation. The physical production of particular speech sounds. Dialect. A variety of a language distinguished by variations of accent, grammar, or vocabulary. Kinesis. The study of body motions as a systematic mode of communication. Gestures. Motions of a speaker's hands or arms during a speech. Eye contact. Direct visual contact with the eyes of another person. That is the end of Chapter 13. Moving forward to Chapter 14. Using visual aids. Graph. A visual aid used to show statistical trends and patterns. Line graph. A graph that uses one or more lines to show changes in statistics over time or space. Pie graph. A graph that highlights segments of a circle to show simple distribution patterns. Bar graph. A graph that uses vertical or horizontal bars to show comparisons among two or more items. Chart. A visual aid that summarizes a large block of information, usually in list form. Font. A complete set of type of the same design. And that is the end of Chapter 14. Thank you for joining me today. It has been my pleasure. Take it easy out there, folks.